What's up, people? It's NG, the Neon X, and I'm back. Let's talk and drive.
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
You know, I've been out for a while. Last video was what happened to my, what just that? Last video is what happened to my stuff. But after that, it was just, life and things along those lines. Christmas, birthdays, anniversary, the whole house got sick, just stuff. But I think I'm good now, and I'm ready. Just give my 2 cents on pretty much stuff that I saw that I missed. Mainly, what I like to call the rise and fall of the dual screen devices. At CES, well, let's not even start there. The elephant in the room, at least to me, is the death of the dual screen as we know it. For whatever reason, probably financials, Microsoft has decided to do away with the dual screen line of Surface Duo devices and go with a more, I don't want to say accepted, but to go with the more regular? I mean, what would you call it? Because foldables still aren't that widespread, but yeah. I guess to go with the more modern foldable screen, like the, of course, the Galaxy Fold comes to mind, but Huawei has some, Oppo has some, like the Oppo Find N, the Magic V, things along those lines. Nothing wrong with that type of device. That form factor is great. Samsung has proven that. The Galaxy Fold is the #1 folding phone of that ilk, and people are really warming up to the idea of having a phone that opens up into a tablet in that method. But not everything needs to do that. Not everything needs to follow suit. And that was part of the appeal of the Duo line. It was like nothing else on the market, and if you allowed it to, it did so much more. I feel this decision of Microsoft to make a regular folding phone as opposed to stay with the dual screen form factor is pretty much just evolution of what happened with the camera bump. The first Duo had no camera bump. It didn't need a camera bump, and it was fine. But then the people spoke. The masses, those who don't truly understand what the Duo is for, and Microsoft listened because they really want a piece of that mobile pie. So they added this ugly, I won't say useless, but not very useful camera bump on the back of the Duo 2. Now, did all of us with an interest in the Duo 2 get one? Probably. Eventually, we dealt with the camera, but it was never a widely accepted addition to the Duo because it didn't allow it to close completely flat like the original. Also, the pictures that it took weren't that great to begin with, so it wasn't like you were giving up the svelte design of the original Duo for really great mobile photography. You weren't. It was still subpar mobile photos when you compared it to the quote-unquote big boys in the mobile photography game. All of these Samsungs and the iPhones and things like that. So they did that, and most of us weren't happy with the design. But we still did the Duo. We still got the Duo, and we still love our Duo 2 because it works like no other device. But now, Microsoft has listened to the people once again. And they said, you know what? Though we had a finalized design for the Surface Duo 3 with dual screens, and Lord knows what other little things they added to it. I'm sure if you look online, you could probably find those specs somewhere. But we are going to scrap that entire project and go with a more quote-unquote traditional foldable screen. So from what I've read, from what I've seen, this is going to be very much like the aforementioned Samsung Galaxy Fold line, with a foldable inner screen and a outer screen to be used when the phone is closed. Now, like I said before, there's nothing wrong with this form factor. I had a Fold. I think that they're quite good. But if you look at my phone use, the phone that gets the most use of all my devices is the Duo. And that's probably, it's just more versatile than all of them. Now, this isn't to say that Microsoft might not come up with some ingenious way to make their foldable stand out from the rest of the pack. It's very possible. Microsoft is known, to try things. When they first brought out the original Surface computer with its thin shape and its attachable keyboard, nothing like that was out on the market. And now when it comes to 2-in-1s, that is the design most companies go for. Microsoft did start that, and I won't even call it a trend. That's what it is now. That's just where everything seems to be going. Why are we not moving? Why? There's nothing here. Something matters. So, this isn't to say that Microsoft might not come up with something ingenious for their version of the Folds, but I don't really see it happening. I don't think they're trying to push the segment anymore. Not hardware-wise. Maybe with the software they'll throw in a little something. I think they're really trying to play it safe. Because the Duo definitely was not safe, and I think that translated into loss of financials for them. If the Duo just didn't sell how they had hoped, though it did garner the interest and the praise, it didn't result in them making much money, I'm pretty sure. So I guess their next phase is, well, everyone seems to like these foldable phones. That's what people talk about, the folds and the flips. So just like with the camera bump, they're gonna follow suit. And I can't say that I'm particularly happy. I liked having a device that stood out from the rest. A device that I could use the way I wanted to use it. It wasn't this or that. It was this, that, or this. There was all of the options that the device had allowed for really interesting use cases. Now, a regular Fold, and that's all I call it, doesn't have, that versatility. Simply because you can't fold it all the way around. But technically, if you think about it, you don't need to, because there's a screen on the front. When you open a regular Fold, it's just a large unhindered screen. That's fine. But the screen is a soft plastic or foldable glass, not nearly as enduring as the two glass screens put together. And no matter how you put it, the Duo, at least to me, was a very durable device. My screens haven't cracked on any of them. And folds are known, the screens are known to tear or known to just give out. Just look on the Reddit threads you will see, oh, I opened up my Fold 4 and the screen just had a line down the middle. Things happen. Whatever is going on when that thing opens and closes, the gears inside, it's doing something to the insides of those screens, which is causing the outsides of the screens to not work right. And to fix one of those is not cheap. Not cheap at all. So no, there's that to think about. Being able to set it up in a tent mode or a laptop mode, depending on the length and width of the device and how they choose to set their screen, that might be the saving grace of it. If it's not the narrow type like the Fold 4 or like the Folds in general, you might still be able to have something very similar to the Duo, where it did allow for the laptop posture, but both screens were wide enough when open that you could get something done. Because the Fold 4 has something similar to that, and it's pretty much pointless. It really is. As far as tent mode, it's just open up the device and use the front screen. Phone mode, close the device and use the front screen. So the postures aren't completely lost. It's just not as interesting to get into. It's just open it or close it. Now, the Fold 4s use the S Pen, so I have no doubt that the Duo 3, or whatever they happen to call it, because calling it the Duo kind of stinks now, as it's no longer a dual screen device. I mean, technically it is one on the outside, one on the inside, but the form factor is just doesn't really lend itself to the name Duo. But I'm sure that it will use the Surface Pen, and I guess it really depends on how Microsoft chooses to implement the software. Because the Duo, its software was amazing. Having the bottom bar slide from one side to the other, that's the way it all worked out. Any two apps on either side, I mean, it was great. Being able to hold it like a book, your thumb in the middle, not blocking any of either screen. It was just a lot of pros, in my opinion, to the dual screen form factor that the Duo 1 and 2 had. But I'm not going to knock the Duo 3. I don't know what Microsoft has in store for us. Yes, it will be nice to have an uninterrupted internal screen when you're trying to watch a movie and things along those lines. But the Duo is only made for movie watching and media consumption like that. That's not its use. It's a work device. So all those that were happy that they couldn't see Leonardo DiCaprio without aligning down his face, I guess they'll be happy now. But is it really worth it? I mean, if you really wanted a singular inner screen, there's more than enough foldables out there at pretty good price points. You could have a Duo and one of those, which was what I had for a while. And like I said before, of all of them, the Duo was the most interesting and most used device of them. I gave up my Fold 3, didn't bother with the Fold 4, and my Fold 1 was used as a camera, as my mobile studio, as it was, just because I could record on its cameras. And when I opened up the device, the inner screen was a great size to do my editing. So that was great, but for everything else, you pull out the Duo and you were off to the races for my writing, for my emails, for my the vid calls and things, my gaming for a lot of it was done on the Duo, at least on Game Pass, if I can have my controller, because you had the screen on top and you had the controller at the bottom. It was just very interesting to use. And I am sad to see that go, but at the same time, I'm curious how Microsoft might try to implement that via the software, because when you think about it, the Duo didn't see itself as two screens. It saw itself as one. So to give it the one screen that it sees it as, it should work the exact same way. But now they have to implement that software on an outer screen that, the screen ratio and all that is different. So yeah, I guess we will see. I'm not happy that they decided to go this route, but I am interested to see how they try to stand out from the rest of them. It was simply another Me Too device, I might look elsewhere. The Google Pixel Fold, I saw a dummy to that on one of those YouTube channels, Dave 2D, I think it was, and it's going the way of the Opal Find N, meaning it's wider than the folds. So, if Microsoft decides to go somewhere in that direction, keep the screen to body ratio of the Duo, perhaps, keep the general form factor of the Duo, but when you open it up, it's one screen, not two. That might be interesting. On a more extreme angle, they really could, I don't know how they could do it, but allow the foldable screen to fold 360 degrees. It's possible. It's very possible. The foldable screens can fold all over the place. They can roll. So if they were to keep the same form factor of the Duo, have an internal folding screen, but it still folds 360 like a Duo, that would be something to see. Let's have that foldable screen cover both sides when it's flipped over. That would be a very interesting take on a foldable device, and that would definitely grab my interest. And yes, I can see that as being a very good upgrade to the Duo 2. But now you do have your singular inner screen, which everyone likes to complain about, but still the use case of the original Duo, because the device still opens and folds the way the original Duos did. So that would be very nice. That would be amazing. But highly doubtful. I don't think Microsoft would experiment like that again, at least not for public use. So, but I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. That there would really be something. Anywho, that's just my take on the entire thing. Not happy with the news, but I am interested to see where it goes from here. Just like my Duo 1, my Duo 2 will be with me till another Duo takes its place. My Duo works fine. I have no issue. And I'm a very patient man, so Microsoft, let's see what you gotta do. Or let's see what you're going to do. So with that said, my name is NG, the Neon X, and just sharing my thoughts on the news of the Microsoft Duo 3. This is what I'm into.